Welcome to the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. Welcome, my brothers and my sisters to the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, creator, and producer of the Sister Speak Show, Ayana. I am so grateful and blessed to be able to vibe out with you all this evening. Shout out to Derek Ben Israel for this funky beat. Say what? Keep in mind that name, Derek Ben Israel, because, when I say fire, gas, fresh music, dope. This brother is really talented and is working on something that is going to bless the 12 tribes. And I just want you all to remember that name, Derek Ben Israel. Extremely gifted. Shout out to you. Mwah. I love you. So moving forward, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to all of my first-time listeners and welcome back to all of my regular listeners. You are in for a wonderful treat this Saturday evening. We are recording live from Dallas, Texas, and it is going all the way up. Anything going down is crashing, baby, and we don't want that. I don't know what the temperature is like where you are, but when I got in the car today, that's what I was saying. I'm like, what is this? Who ordered well done? Okay? Because that's what it felt like. The temperature was well done. Extremely toasty. Okay? I'm serious. Breakfast all day. What do you mean? Because it's toasty. All right, brothers and sisters, so let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and brief you on what we have cracking because we have a very special guest this evening. Go New York, go New York, go New York, go New York, get busy, get busy. Oh yes, we have a very special guest, my brothers and sisters, this evening. J. Rob, recording artist J. Rob, is my very special guest. He was also featured during May Music, and I said to all of the featured artists, the ones who I had not already interviewed, I said, look, provided with this package is an interview. The listening audience has to know who you are. So I'm going to go ahead and get with these house rules. And so shout out to Rochester, New York, and everybody's listening and supporting my brother this evening. You are definitely in the right place. We are the flavor in your ear. The Sister Speak Show, a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa, recorded through Spreaker, baby. And you can catch us on iHeart, TuneIn Radio, Tumblr, and as well as SoundCloud and YouTube. Okay? So listen, you're listening to a 6-segment podcast, okay? Within these podcast segments, you are going to be able to catch special guest interviews, live performances, in-studio interviews, and live on location reports. The special guest who will be on the Sister Speak Show are dynamic and impacting the communities with their passions. Not only that, they're absolutely phenomenal. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. Oh yes, we are a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, darling. Just responsible listening nourishment. Guess what else? We don't go dumb. We go wisdom on the Sister Speak Show. Now that you understand what's popping, what's cracking, you understand how we going all the way up on the Sister Speak Show. It's about making the known. Shout out to all of the international listeners. Brazil, Colombia, Spain, Ireland, Jamaica, Australia, Germany, Philippines, Canada, as well as Germany, as well as the United States of America and all of the cities within. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. All right, brothers and sisters, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a couple commercial breaks, and after that, we're going to get right into it. I got something for you. Okay? I got something for you. It's all the way lit. I advise that you understand this, that you don't know what I'm going to say. Okay? We keep it 100. on this platform. Keep in mind, you don't know what I'm going to say, but I have something to say. Bless you. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks, okay? Thank you.
Listening to the Sister Speak Show is even easier now with the new abilities available from Spreaker Skill on Amazon Alexa. With Spreaker on Alexa, you can now listen to the Sister Speak Show from even more places from all around the world. You also have navigation control, fast forward and rewind podcasts to make sure you never miss a second of your favorite show. And then you can ask for show recommendations like the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Brothers and sisters, we want you to listen live and on demand to the Sister Speak Show. There are 6 segments dedicated to serving you, my brothers and sisters. We have the platform, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the laugh line, the tour, and the search effort. Oh, the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
If you don't know, now you know. Tips on the music industry. May 2017, Essence published an article written by Mykesha Toby about John Singleton, film director John Singleton to be exact. Well now, TV producer John Singleton to add to his resume. This article strikes me as something I needed to share with you all because yes, I understand that he is a film director, TV director, but it's the message that is reaching out to all of you all who are using your talents and your brand and are passionate about your purpose. So let me just share just one part of this article that I believe will encourage you all. The question was asked, why did you make the switch from film to TV? And he replied, I get to make a movie weekly. And with film, you're lucky if you get to make one every year or 2 years. With TV, you're on the floor every week, seeing stuff happen, working with the scripts and working with the actors, and it's great. Viewers don't want the okie doke anymore. They want authenticity. Atlanta and Insecure were 2 of the last year's best programs, and they don't pull punches. The black people behind the shows and writing them are the real deal. For too long, there were people in the writers' rooms who weren't people of color. They were interested in black culture, but they were afraid to go there because it could be considered racist. Black people don't have cultural filters. The hardest thing to do as a black person is to shock other black people. I always thought that if we shock other black people, then everybody will love it. Tips on the music industry. Now, that's what you were expecting. But this is deeper than that. This is showing you that your brand, your gift, your talent is able to flow through many streams. It's all in how you position yourself. It's all in how you believe. It's all in how you allow reset to occur. Don't just get comfortable in doing something that you've had great experience in. Venture out. Expand your brand. Dive into the possibilities of reaching into greater streams of not only income, but networking, possibilities, and number 1, serving the community. Thank you, Mr. Singleton. John Singleton to be exact, for sharing why you switched from film to TV and how you basically are smiling from ear to ear. If you don't know, now you know. Tips on the music industry. Now back to the show. Welcome. Welcome back to the Sister Speak Show. You are listening live to the tour where we cover every aspect of the music industry. I am your host, Ayana. What's going on, brother? What's going on, sister? Hello, king. Hello, queen. Shout out to everybody listening. If you're just now tuning in, my special guest this evening will be J. Rob. Yes, recording artist J. Rob. We featured him during May Music. And May Music was, the beginning of many May Musics where we feature national as well as hopefully one day international independent music artists, as well as spoken word artists. And If you haven't listened to the previous episodes of the tour, well, honey, baby boy, you need to go ahead and catch those episodes and understand why we do what we do. So listen, before my special guest calls in, I have to do this just to set the stage. What we're going to do right here is we are going to play, my brothers and sisters, one song that J-Rob sent us 2 songs, but I'm going to play one of his songs. It's called Corner Store. Okay? Get ready. Let's go. And I'll meet you on the other side of this. J-Rob, Corner Store. Get ready to vibe out. We'll talk about it as soon as we come back on the other side of this. Stay tuned and don't you dare go anywhere. The Sister Speak Show, the tour, where we cover every aspect of the music industry. Corner Store by J-Rob.
Uh-huh. For my hut, right here. Uh-huh. Where we at? Mama sent you to the store for some bread, you know what I mean? Some milk and all that. Check. I was raised by the corner store. People dodging strays, going to war. Mama working hard, but we had it poor. Living in the hood, but we wanted more. Woo. Pops told me stay in school, but I wanted the streets cause niggas made it cool. My older cousins never followed rules, so I looked up to them and got a little crew. Off of Clifford, we was from the front. My sister got no shoes, I had to wait my turn. A PlayStation, what I wanna earn. But after class, mama asked me what I learned. Yeah, I ain't listen when the teacher teach. Playing with the girls, but I had dirty sneaks. Every Sunday I would fall asleep. Snowing all in church while the preacher preach. Yeah, but I was raised by the corner store. People dodging strays, going to war. Mama working hard, but we had it poor. Living in the hood, but we wanted more. Yeah, I was raised by the corner store. People dodging strays, going to war. Mama working hard, but we had it poor. Living in the hood, but we wanted more. Never told nobody about 96. I was 8 years old and tried to jump the fence. Oh, the got me, yeah, they called a lick. All I had is juice and a bag of chips. Coming from the corner store. Going to grandma's house when she lived on Roy. Had to be a man, I was sure. Only told Alex he was on the porch. But that ain't give him. Told myself that enough's enough. Tried playing football, but I wasn't tough. Pop said, son, you better roughen up. A mama's boy, I was tired of that. Asked myself, how can I survive like that? So I stood up to them rival cats. Fighting me, well then I was fighting back. Cause I was raised by the corner store. People dodging strays, going to war. Mama working hard, but we had it poor. Living in the hood, but we wanted more. Yeah, I was raised by the corner store. People dodging strays, going to war. Mama working hard, but we had it poor. Living in the hood, but we wanted more. J-Rock.
Hey, 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 hey. Brothers and sisters, calling in live to the tour on the Sister Speak Show is my special guest. I've been waiting for this, and I know you all have too. Give a round of applause for recording artist J-Rob. Hey, I'm over here rocking out to the corner store. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yes, of course. You know what, J-Rob? Bless you. Thank you so much for calling in and just, allowing us to vibe out with you and just to get deeper into who J-Rob is. I'm so excited to just finally get to converse with you,
Thank you. I thank you for the opportunity, to let some people, get to know me and, hear the music and, what I about.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Nah, thank you for supplying dope music to where it would be no problem for me to have it on the show. Whenever, first of all, I just have to tell everybody how I got to know who you are. I put out the advertisement for May Music and you hit me right away. You responded right away. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like a blessing. And I was so grateful because it's just like, you reached out and you responded. And, when you put something out there, you want people to be attracted to it and you want people to participate. And so, brothers and sisters, this is the first brother, the first king to participate in May Music, to submit his music, and it was a guarantee that we would play it. I listened to it. I was like, oh, for sure. You know what I mean? Straight, great vibe, different sound. I love the music and I love the production. You know what I'm saying? And be it that I was conceived in New York, I just kind of feel like I just have this connection with New York. So, you know what I'm saying? So let's just get right down to it. Who is J. Rob, and when did you discover that music was a part of your purpose and passion?
Well, J. Rob is a young man who fell in love with music at a young age, and I never really thought I'd be doing music myself, but some life happened and, trials and tribulations happened and I've discovered it, it's like, okay, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, me just writing, I became a writer and, just writing. So I'm like, hey, let me get this music thing a shot, I don't have nothing to lose. So, let me just give it all I got.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so, I appreciate you for sharing that. And so let's just go back a little ways. You're a young boy growing up and, you mentioned trials and tribulations is something that we all experience, which are a part of our shaping and things that provide wisdom. So, you're a young man. What music was playing in your household at the time?
Everything from oldies, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, of course, Michael Jackson, Prince. I want to say hip hop came. I was born in '88, so hip hop, from what I remember, it was probably 94, 95. When I heard Pac and Biggie, Snoop, playing in my pop's car. So I'm like, all right, this is something I like. I don't know what they talking about, but I like it.
Yeah.
It just feels good.
Yeah.
And it was a gospel. My mom, but she's a Christian woman, so a lot of gospel was playing. And a lot of R&B. I had two older sisters, so they playing. I'm hearing Jodeci and Mary J.
Yeah, for sure.
So I always heard it. It was always around. So I'm like, okay, this is here, for a reason. So I'm like, okay, music, is a part of my life. I mean, I can't get away from it. So, if that answers your question.
No, you totally answered my question. I appreciate you for that. When it comes to, you mentioning the diversity in music that you were listening to, as far as with your mother's, main type of grooves that she had playing in your father's, what do you think is the common thread between those artists that sing R&B and then those who sing gospel? Do you think that the common thread is everybody's telling a story, or what do you think links it all up? Because you know how you get most of the foundation is in the church, and then it branches out. So what do you think the common thread is between those artists and their genres?
Okay, I think it's all, not to sound confusing them, but it just sounds I feel it's all soulful music, you know, R&B, gospel, you know, even jazz and, you know, blues, you know, it's all music from the soul, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that's ours, you know, us as a people, you know.
Yes.
I'm talking about black people. Like,
right, for
we,
sure.
And I am no way, shape, or form racist at all. It's just...
You don't have to clarify that. I know what you're saying.
We are just we're talented beings, you know, and whether it be music or, you know, athletics, like, we just dominate, you know, in music, period, you know.
In many things, definitely.
So, you know, if we, and music is, you know, the essence of life, you know, so they say.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that we all can relate to.
Definitely.
It don't matter where you at. You know, you could be on the other side of the world, you know, Europe or
For sure.
Africa, or, you know, it don't matter. Like, we all can relate, you know, to some good music, you know, real music.
Yes. And you said it. You know, you always, and I feel like in this day and age with the music industry, you have to use adjectives like real. You know what I mean? You have to really describe music because the music that you grew up listening to, see, you said you were born in 88. So in 88, I was in the 8th grade.
Seriously? Okay.
Seriously. So I am listening to, you and I are still listening to the same type of music, you know, hearing the same type of music, and definitely, catching that same vibe. So I think our ear is pretty much the same on that. But the one thing I wanted to ask you about well, let's just go a little bit further back before I get into that point. When you were at that young age, were you then inspired to start writing, or when did you start picking up the pen and saying, okay, now that I'm hearing this music, I got this influence. At what age were you, like, was it school or was it just something you were doing on the side?
Okay. Crazy story, and I'm gonna keep it short. This is about 2008. So 10 years ago, two of my friends, you know, they was going to the studio, you know, out here in Rochester, and, you know, I just went with them, and they was about to record, you know, but they was doing it. They was doing it before me. You know, these are the guys from my high school, here in Rochester. Yeah. You know, so they was spitting before me. You know, I was just a fan of theirs. I support them. You know, but they just told me one day when we went there, they was like, yo, write something. Where you pen at? And I had told the engineer, I'm like, yeah, yo, if I don't know where the hell beat, the loss was. So, we found it, put it up. I ain't gonna front, I wrote the verse pretty fast too. You know, and yeah, that was my first time ever recording, ever writing. You know, back in the day, I'm not gonna lie, when I was, young, and I used to play around and, be in school, beating on the table and stuff. But I wasn't writing then. Like that was my first time. Like I said, 10 years ago. Just going to the studio with my mans, and they were telling me like, yo, man, write something. So, I give it to them. For that. And I don't know, maybe that was a sign, but I'm like, okay, I didn't take it serious until a year, year later. When I got into some trouble, so that's when I was writing. And I'm like, hey, let me just get this a shot. So,
yeah. And so many artists say that writing is extremely therapeutic for them, and it allows them to express whatever it is. And in turn, a lot of the times when you're writing, you're also writing about somebody else's pain that you don't know, and that's how you end up getting a lot of your fans, your supporters, because they come to you after a show and they say, hey, I was listening to The Corner Store, and like that that's me. Like, I can feel that, you know what I'm saying? So how therapeutic is writing for you?
Oh, man, it's extremely therapeutic. I can't even lie to you. Yeah, that's, I don't know, this music is really, really a blessing, you know, and it's really, I'm really getting started, but I feel, you know, me getting better, you know, at the theme of, you know, my mixtape series, Better With Time, you know, that's the theme, but I just feel me getting better, you know, every time I'm writing, you know, and practicing and stuff, I just try to keep my pen sharp, you know, but it's definitely therapeutic, you know, every time I'm, you know, feeling down or feeling bad or having one of them days, I'm like, okay, you know, let me write you know, about, you know, how I'm feeling, you know, why I'm mad or, you know, what somebody done did to piss me off or whatever, like, you know, so I just put the pen to the paper, you know, and just let all my anger, let all my frustration out, you know, just writing. So definitely therapeutic.
Yeah.
That was a good question too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Was a great answer. You know, I think that, you know, I think for a lot of times, you know, the word, you know, being cool or the phrase being cool has so much pulling power that it really makes people sometimes keep things in because it's not cool to express yourself. But, you know, being able to express yourself not only saves your lives, but other people's lives. Because I feel like as we evolve and we want to enter into other relationships or do other things, that, you know, if we are an emotional wreck, if we are having a complete chaos going on consistently on the inside, we're not able to serve anybody. And so with being able to write it out, you know, now some people say, now walk it out. But sometimes you need to write it out because then, you know, now, you know, you're allowing yourself to evolve because writing out is a form of letting it go. And then allowing you to grow because, you know, we hold on to a lot of things and we have experience, like, you know, you mentioned trials and tribulations. We all have assigned to us, and sometimes we bring upon ourselves trials and tribulations. And a lot of the trials and tribulations that we go through, and I say through, which is an indicator that it doesn't last always. But a lot of the trial, it's just like going through a tunnel. Have you ever seen, for the most part, a train stuck in a tunnel? No, it goes through it. So, you know, as you are going through your trials and tribulations, a lot of times people don't realize that it's to shape your character because we really cannot handle what is to come. A lot of times there are huge things that are for us because of our purpose and our destiny. And but we are not able to handle it if we don't have the proper character. So our trials and tribulations are orchestrated to make us grow, to make us be of a better service, not to make us bitter, but to make us better. A lot of times, you know, our brothers and our sisters, because, you know, there are a lot of things that we have to face on a daily. A lot of times they don't understand that suffering is a lot of times meant for our good. But a lot of people just want to live on easy street, no turbulence, smooth flight. You know, no trepidation on the bridge, even though there's a lot of weight. They want everything to be without any type of challenge. And that makes you, you know, and that is not how life goes. You know.
Yeah. I call that fantasy land, or I was told that's called fantasy land. You know, like just thinking everything. Yeah. You're definitely right about that.
You know, we have to be able, and I thank you for, you know, that input because, you know, it's just like, I just know that we sometimes quit too soon. You know, I was just reading, even though, you know, and I know you had said earlier, you know, not to say that you're racist in any way, shape, or form. You don't ever have to clarify that on the Sister Speak show.
Okay.
You know, because that's not, this is a FUBU show. For us, by us. That's no disrespect to anybody else, but I am for my village and my people. And that just makes me a factor. So just, we good. I understand what you're saying. And so does the listening audience. And you all know what I'm saying when I say I'm embracing my brothers and my sisters. And that's everybody within the 12 tribes of Israel. Understand that. Okay. So move it.
I'm with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, I just wanted to, I think I lost my train of thought, but I was just going to say that, our brothers and sisters would fare a lot easier if they would just allow the certain things to just come through your way and pass so you can be a greater human. And I say that because now I know what I was going to say. I'm reading the articles about these suicides with quote unquote celebrities and people with a lot of money. Okay. And a lot of times people are focusing on the fact that, look, all these people got all this money. Why are they committing suicide? If I had all that money, there's no way. But I think that just goes to show that we all go through trials and tribulations, and all that glitters on the outside is not necessarily gold on the inside. And a lot of people will have several millions of dollars and be absolutely bitter, absolutely lonely, absolutely miserable, and absolutely contemplating suicide because they're extremely depressed. Allow your trials and tribulations, brothers and sisters, to shape you and not take you out. Quitting is not the answer. Okay. Killing yourself is not the answer. I just want to beckon with everybody because depression is so real, and depression can take you out. And depression can have you withdrawing from your purpose, your plan, and your potential, and your passions. So,
I agree.
like my brother right here, J. Rob, just said, and opened it up so we can talk about this because we have to have an open dialogue about mental health. You can't have millions of dollars and be having several voices trying to dictate your next move in your head.
Right.
And so we got to understand that, and also several voices can also be the circle that is around you. Some of y'all circles is totally effed up. Some of the people in y'all camp and in y'all family are snakes, and y'all don't even know it. And you'd rather sit there and be like, oh, that's mama. Oh, that's daddy. Oh, that's grandma. Oh, that's auntie. Oh, that's cousin. Oh, that's fam. Let me explain to you. One voice in your head, and I have to say this because I know a lot of people be like, look, don't bring religion into it. I'm not. I'm bringing the truth into it. Look, you got to have a relationship with Jesus the Christ. You have to know who God is. And if you don't have him in your life, I'm telling you, you will be right there on that edge. And you might make that decision because you are without an umbrella, and every time it rains, you get wet. And some of y'all are drenched, and you don't know why. And so I just want to just put that out there because, and bringing this back with you being a recording artist and in an industry and in a career that is lucrative. Okay. You're going to encounter shows and money and meeting this human and meeting that human and, really elevating and really growing. And so, you're going to experience even more trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? To have that balance, but that mental health for J. Rob, you understand? That mental health, that circle, that support, all of that is crucial for you and every other artist out here on the grind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
Go ahead and share, go ahead and share with the listening audience, some insight and some input on that. We just bouncing back on the dialogue, but you sparked something in me because I just know that the spirit of depression is so heavy because so many people are not satisfied and are go ahead.
Okay. I feel with that subject,
mm-hmm.
and like I said, I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree 100% with you.
Yes.
It just, in today's, I just say with us, our people,
yeah.
we don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
We don't want to, we don't want to address you know, something is wrong with us, or, you know, we thinking about this, or, you know, we going through that. You know, we'd rather, you know, just keep it in, keep it to ourselves. You may tell somebody who, you know, like you said, maybe a family member, you know, but they going through their own stuff, you know, so they would, you know, they don't care, but, you know, they're going through their own stuff, so how can they help you? And, you know, they got their own shit that we all dealing with.
Yes.
You know, so I just feel it definitely needs to be addressed more. I definitely agree with you on that, because maybe if we trust, you know, people, that's one of the reasons why, you know, because we don't trust nobody.
That's true.
But us as a people,
that's true.
You know, we don't trust nobody.
Right.
You know, because people just, they, you know, they going crazy, or they this or they that. You know, they quit the judge, but they don't want to, you know, offer any help or offer any advice. You know, or, you know, go see a doctor, or, you know, go see a psychiatrist. You know, it is help out here. You know, but either we don't want to get the help, you know, or we don't want to have that difficult conversation. That's something that I had to learn, you know. You know, the best conversations are the ones that's very difficult, you know, but it's real, and it needs to be, you know, addressed.
Yes.
You know, talked about more in our communities, you know, and I feel, that's definitely, you know, be a big step, you know, if more people, more, you know, entertainers and more, you know, athletes who had that platform, you know, would address, you know, mental health more. You know, it's definitely needed.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. You know, I think about, I used to always get Vibe magazine, Source. You know, I always used to get those that literature, because I always wanted to be abreast on the music industry, what was going on. I was just really fascinated by the way that those two magazines came together and how they really just highlighted the industry. And I remember reading an article about a brother who is something about the hotel rooms too. I'm telling you, something about a hotel room. But anyway, Michael Jackson said it, Heartbreak Hotel. But anyway, it's he was in the hotel, and he plunged his eye out. He just plucked it out, just plucked it out. And this
What was it? You said it was just a random guy?
No, he was a rapper. I don't know if it was, I don't want to say it was Cassidy or was it Cassidy? But I can't remember who it was, but he was definitely an East Coast rapper in a hotel room. He just flipped and he plucked his eye out. Okay. And so it's deep. And I think, and a lot of times I feel like with any industry, it's best to kind of know all of what you can, even though some things you're going to learn with experience, so you can know how to fight the devil, because he's coming for your mind. He's coming for it. That is the number one place of attack, is the mind. Okay? And he comes for it with accusations, wicked thoughts, wicked whispers, wicked suggestions. He does not like us. So at any chance he can get to capitalize on your treasure box, your mind, he will. And if you're not steady, if you're not stable, always praying, always praising, always filling yourself with the word so you can combat him. It's just like, I don't understand how some of us, not all, but some of us, we can watch not sports, but superhero movies. And I'll just use this as an example. Superman. Now, we all know how we can bring Superman down with kryptonite. Right. So you cannot fight Superman with gasoline. You cannot throw snowballs at him. You cannot, throw water on him. The way you take Superman out is with kryptonite.
Right.
So the way you take the devil out is with the scriptures. He is completely the scriptures work when you work them. But a lot of times we are not filled with what we need in order to fight. And so we're getting in the ring and we're thinking that we can beat Mayweather, we can beat Tyson, we can beat Holyfield, we can beat Kimbo Slice, we can beat Muhammad Ali, but you can't. Because you're not equipped. And so if we know how to fight Superman, how come we don't know how to fight the devil? Why do we always let him beat us up and whoop on us, and then we just sit over here like, come on, he ain't holding back any punches. I mean, his job is to steal, is to seek, kill, and destroy. So if you know this about your opponent, then why don't we reposition ourselves to actually fight him, because he can be defeated?
Right, I agree.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Go ahead.
You're going deep now. Oh man.
I've always got my scuba gear on.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you think you can get that message out, to more of the youth who's easily influenced,
Yes.
So they see their homeboys, doing something, and I was guilty of it, because I was, back in the day, I was just following after my mans, we all lost, we all, just watching, what everybody else doing.
For sure.
Just want to make a name for ourselves.
For sure.
And, so we doing this, something that's not even our character, you know? And it's like, how can we get that, across to more youth, to just, be yourself and, it's crazy.
Well, see, the thing is, you had to, not to cut you off, but you and your brothers, you got to experience that, because then you're able to come back and teach. You can't teach without any knowledge. You got to know what the streets are. You got to have an angle to come in, because these youth are not listening to anybody who's phony. They're not listening to anybody who's there just to get a check. They're not trying to listen to anybody there who's just trying to be famous. Those youth will eat you alive. I used to teach. I taught at continuation school. I lived in the Bay Area for 25 years. I have taught in the roughest of roughest. And these youth, I'm going to tell you, I was supposed to teach English, but you know what I taught? I taught social skills. I taught how to survive. You can try to put these subjects on these youth, but damn all that. That ain't what they need. They need attention. They need love. They need rearing. They need raising. They need to know that there is somebody in there actually interceding on their behalf with prayer. They need the truth. And when you are able to be bold and stand before the youth and say, look, I used to do this, that, and the third, because I'm going to be very transparent, J-Rob. Just like you said, you was out there while I was wilding out, okay? I was wilding out. I was doing things just like you said, out of my character. So I can talk to a young girl and say, you need to preserve your virginity, because I was out here wilding out at one point in time, and promiscuity leads to A, B, C, and STD, okay? I can sit here and I can say that you don't need to go and try to dance and make money for you, because the only thing that's going to do is taint your character, and you're going to have to spend some time trying to clean that up. I can be very honest about the things that I have done. I can say I used to be a hoe, because I used to be a hoe. Ain't no covering up. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a hoe. These are the things that come, not like saying I was out there working for money, but I was still being a hoe. You know what I'm saying? I can be honest about these things, and they need to hear it. They need to know why. I can't just tell you be a virgin. Let me tell you why you need to be a virgin. Because when I lost my virginity, this happened. And then I started on a road to doing this. A lot of times our brothers and sisters don't want to reach back to the youth because they're bitter about their choices, and they want to see somebody else fall and stumble like they did. But that's not what taking care of the village is about. Shame on our brothers and sisters if you're not willing to open up and tell a young girl who's thinking about contemplating losing her virginity, or a young brother who's thinking about losing his virginity, to hold on. Or if you used to slang dope and you've been delivered from that, you can go back and tell them, hey, you don't need to do that, because you're going to be looking over your shoulder. You're going to have to worry about undercover cops. You're going to have to worry about somebody snitching, setting you up, robbing you, the whole woo-wop. We need people who are bold enough to get on the mic and get before the youth and tell it like a T.I. is. See, we have a gift because we can actually go into the schools and can't nobody censor us. Can't nobody stop us from saying what we're supposed to say. If you ask me to be a guest speaker at your school, get ready, get ready, get ready. Because it's about the Emancipation Proclamation of the mental health of our young brothers and sisters. I got to clap on that. Go ahead.
We definitely talk more about that.
You know, so let's just get into J. Rob's music. You are listening live to the tour on the Sister Speak Show, where we cover every aspect of the music industry. My very special guest, the articulate, the wise, Mr. Brother King himself, J. Rob, recording artist J. Rob. So let's just go ahead and talk about your music. How would you describe your music?
Okay, I describe it as it's hip hop. I say 90s hip hop with a little twist of today's generation. You know, kind of like a hybrid of the old. Because I always pay homage and I always respect the original boom bap. Real hip hop. So that's something that's never going to leave. But I understand the game has I won't say changed, but it has evolved. Into what it is now. So I understand you gotta stay with the times, but I always pay homage, and you can hear it in my lyrics or, my beat selections, that I'm very, 90s hip hop, orientated.
And you know what? I love the 90s hip hop. And I love that vibe. You know what I'm saying? That was an era where hip hop was really coming through. And, I was watching Netflix and, I got to see some documentaries on hip hop and just really getting to understand the industry for what it is now. I don't want to necessarily be outdated, but I still hold on to a sound that was just so dope. And that I just know that our brothers and sisters were creating music that was on fire. There was a time I have never seen MC Lyte twerk. Hello. I've never seen MC Lyte twerk. Brothers and sisters, I've never seen her. She's one of the dopest female MC lyricists in the industry, period. One of. I've never seen her twerk. So there was just an integrity, I feel, that came with that era. So with you, and you also, mentioning, the type of music that you were listening to, who are some of the artists, East Coast, West Coast, it doesn't matter, that you listen to today?
Well, I'm a fan, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of just about not everybody, but I'm a fan of hip hop. So if you have dope music out,
okay.
I'm definitely checking for it. And a lot of new artists. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of the mumble rap. Even though I understand, these guys, they just doing, they're doing what they know. So I respect it. But yeah, I still love, Nas and, I still love Kiss, Fab and, I say Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks was my favorite rapper.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
Jay-Z retired back in 2003, Lloyd Banks was my favorite rapper. So
definitely.
Yeah, that's a record right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Dipset movement, the whole G-Unit movement, that time and era, now, I like Davies, I like Vado, Young M.A, she doing her thing, Outkast doing their thing, West Coast, of course, gotta add in TDE, TDE, they whole camp, definitely doing their thing. A lot of good artists out here. Like Currency a lot.
No, there's definitely a range of artists. You mentioned Lloyd Banks. one thing I like about Lloyd Banks is, when people, we all have distinctive voices, but there's just some voices that you can just hear and you're just like, okay, this voice is okay. I know that's Lloyd Banks. You know what I'm saying? And he just he's just got that whole vibe. It's real smooth. You know what I'm saying? Lloyd Banks is, just real calm, but don't test this gangster. But at the same time, it's just something about just the way that when he would come on the mic, just like, okay. But actually, you know what? I rock with you on that, the whole G Unit, because that back in that day, you got Lloyd Banks, and then who was the other one that was with him? Goodness. Wait, it was who?
Young Buck.
Yeah, there you go, Young Buck. How can I forget Young Buck? Young Buck, 50 and that, and it was just like, okay, when they came together, it was just like nobody stepped over each other when they were recording. You know what I'm saying? Like each time they spit their verses, it was like, okay, boom, boom, and they all spit that fire. And to me, it's just like no one outgassed the other. It was just like straight through. You feel me? If that kind of makes any sense. It's kind of like how the Warriors did it last night.
Okay.
Yes.
Superstar too.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, but
So how do you feel? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
You want to touch basketball? Real quick.
Yes.
How do you feel about the comparisons? Because you're older. So how do you feel about the comparisons of LeBron, to Jordan? How do you feel?
Okay, well, let me first address how I feel about the celebration of Michael Jordan. I feel like LeBron James is a dope basketball player, and I feel like Michael Jordan is a dope basketball player. The problem with the comparison is you can't compare greatness. You have to be able to understand that there's more than one. That greatness is not just applied to one. We a lot of people spend a lot of time focusing on Michael Jordan. Woo, 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 woo. And there are so many other brothers who spent their time, skill, and everything else to get to the league. Okay?
Like Kobe. Okay, like Kobe.
Right.
So you say like Kobe, right?
Right, I'm saying Kobe. I'm saying Carmelo. I'm saying Gary Payton. I'm saying Latrell Sprewell. Okay? I'm saying Steph Curry. I'm saying a whole range. I'm saying D Wade, Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Kevin Garnett. I'm saying, who else? Even Rondo with his little pissy attitude. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying a whole bunch of greatness. I look at, who are you all going to try to say is the MVP of the finals when it's like y'all all made it to the finals. Y'all all are the MVP. LeBron James, he's cool. But if I say he's the greatest, I'm telling a lie. Can I say that he's one of? Sure. Can I say that Michael Jordan is one of? Sure. But then the question is this: what does the word greatness mean and how far does it expand? Because I have to then look at, are you great at home with your wife and your family? Are you great at home are you great in the community? How have you taken your greatness and served the community? See, we apply that word great and sometimes it's a superficial greatness. And so I feel like LeBron is LeBron.
I feel when they say that, I feel that it's pertaining, to what they do, which is, basketball,
Yeah.
Where I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Say, the greatest, and he's greatness. Yeah, I feel basketball greatness. Mm-hmm. But I also, I thought that you were going to go that route. As comparing, Jordan off the court, to LeBron off the court.
Right.
And if we were, if you would ask me my opinion on that,
yes,
I would say, LeBron, in my opinion, he definitely does more.
Definitely.
For the community.
Yes, he does.
He definitely does more, for the city, and he speaks on, some issues, and. I remember it was a news reporter. I forgot who she was, but she said, just shut up and play basketball.
Wow.
That's all LeBron is supposed to do. Like,
wow.
Like he doesn't have a voice, so I'm like, okay, but that comes with it, they're going to bash him, but I feel, yeah, I can agree with you on that, and you made a whole era, of players, so I definitely agree.
Yeah.
They all great. But they made it there and
definitely
they succeeded, at a high level, for a number of years. So,
right.
I definitely agree with you on that.
Right. Because I think about with even, interviewing you this evening, you outgas rappers that are known. You understand what I'm saying to you? You got more fire.
Okay.
You got
No, I'm with you.
You got more fire than a lot of stuff I hear playing through mainstream. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is, some people do certain things to get to the level to where they can be recognized. Everybody didn't get to where they're at because this is their purpose and their passion. Some people have sold their soul. And it's just the truth of the matter. Some people go that route in order to obtain riches, fame, greatness. I think about a lot of times when, a person who's celebrated, like a basketball player or somebody in the music industry or, just somebody who's just on that level, they're great to everybody else, but then an asshole or a jerk or just completely a bully to their spouse. You know what I'm saying? So does that make beating on their spouse? But before that, they're signing autographs with kids, kissing them. The greatest, got all these. But at home, a terror. At home, completely evil. Not all, but some. So then, that's why I say, I can understand the superficial greatness because LeBron James, first of all, okay, who gonna block him? You got to set up a whole strategy for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared because when he's coming down and his goal is to get the ball in the net, through the net, that's what's going to happen. When it's going through the basket.
275.
Yeah, and that's a full charge. Just like them rhinos in Wakanda. Get in their way if you want to. Okay? Let them Wakanda rhinos come after you. You moving out the way. And you're going to move out the way. Who is going to block him? You got to put serious pressure on LeBron James. You got to double team LeBron James because otherwise, over your head and through the net. A man that can carry 50 points per game and be playing and then look and still just release that he done messed up his hand after the finals is over. Wow. That says something. I don't take away anything away from his athleticism. I don't take away from the team that he has because he hired all of his friends to help manage him, so he's keeping it in the community. He married a sister. He's got beautiful children. You understand what I'm saying for you? He's not perfect to you. I mean, he's not perfect, but if going back on what you said, I definitely would say then in comparison, I would have to say LeBron James.
Right.
I would have to say LeBron James, because I've never owned a pair of Jordans in my life, ever. I've never worn a pair. Wait, did I? No, I've never had a pair of J's, ever. I know some people are like, what? I have not. Nope.
Not when you were younger?
Let me introduce you to the first Huxtables. William and Avis Autry, my parents. Okay? Heck nah. I ain't never had no dang J's. Okay? I had nays. No, but what I did have, but I will say this: what I did have, I did have clothes, I did have shoes, I was fed. But my parents were born in the 40s. My dad was born in 1940. My mother was born in 1942. I came along in 1976. That's a big, big gap. Whereas today, parents a little bit younger, a little bit closer to the trends and stuff like that. So my parents were not happening. And plus my dad was a military man. You know what I mean? It just wasn't happening.
Mine was too. So,
Really?
okay.
So
I'm
you
like,
understand? So you know about going to the PX and the commissary?
I definitely relate.
So you got most of your stuff from the PX, huh?
No, not from the PX. He was out of it. When I came along. When I was born, he was out of me.
Yeah, my dad was, like I said, he was in the Army, he was in Vietnam, but we still, went to the commissary and the PX, so there was just certain rules and regulations that shopping and trends, my parent knew, no. That's, I think, why as soon as I got my first job, I bought as many clothes as I could, J-Rob. I was trying to make up for stuff that I didn't have in third grade, okay? I'm like, okay, I'm trying to have a third grade class reunion so they can see I finally got it. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, let's...
I was the same way. I had to wait till I got me a job. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, I went through the struggle too.
Yeah, man, but that struggle made you, it builds character. And I'm not mad at my parents. They did what they could, and sometimes they did what they couldn't. I'm not going to say, I feel like some things they held back on, but, that was their choice. But I'm able to get it now. I'm blessed, and I really have no complaints. I wanted to...
not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You had everything you need. Like, everything you needed, you had it.
I had it.
The clothes. You had the food.
Everything.
Wasn't hungry, going to bed. So
nah, everything.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
I had that, and it's simple, but it was good. I think I'm grateful for what I had, and I don't want to be a murmurer or a complainer, but basically in this life, it really is about your needs. It's about your needs being supplied. And your desires are what we call your wants. And, we have to understand the difference, a lot of times I think the issue is when you go to school, having to face the ignorant children that you have to go to school with for 180 days who want to tease you because you don't have the trend, who want to tease you because your look may not be in, having to experience rough socialization and teasing because of those things. That's where I think the challenge is. Everything is cool at the house because this is your family. This is what you got going on. You're used to your unit. It's just that when you have to mesh into school, then you're coming into a whole nother form of spiritual warfare. And I don't think parents really understand what you're dropping your children off to every day. You know what I'm saying? School is, I advise every parent, you better really take the time out to walk the halls of where you sending your children to 8 hours a day, because they're making money off of your child. When your child is absent, they're not calling your house to report the absence because for any other reason. Your child is a dollar amount. That body is money. At least $200 a day off of your child. Your child. That's why, they have all the truancy sweeps and sending parents to jail for, their children not going to school. Man, if your child don't come to school, the government will shut down. They making money off of your child's back. That's why they don't want you to homeschool your children. And they so quick to try to put your child in a special needs class and drug them up because they got to deal with the pharmaceutical companies. Man, I'm serious. It's real. I worked there. I know.
Okay, I don't want to go into anything else, but real quick, you said that they're making $200 off the kid, and I just made me think about the prison system and how they're making thousands and thousands off of every inmate. So that right there, that's a larger scale of how they keep us down, and they're just making money off of us, and I'm not gonna lie, because white people in jail, and everybody, a lot of people of all, different races and nationalities is in jail, but we dominate, Black and Latinos.
Yes.
we dominate, the prison population. You
Yes.
know, I just want to throw that in there, because they're making thousands on, inmates.
Yes,
housed.
they are. And the inmates are I took a black and criminal justice class, and the inmates are getting paid 12 to 36 cents a day. And Honda parts are made in prison. Levi's jeans. Levi's is made in prison. IKEA furniture is made in prison. Several companies, entities that we support, drive, wear, are made in prison. 12 to 36 cents a day. See, the whole goal is to target the poor, the black, the ignorant, the stupid, the Latino, and the Indian, okay? The Native American. And when you send your child to school, most of the time you have hall monitors, so we can refer to them as what? Correctional officers. You have site supervisors. You even have campus police. You've got the principal, who is the warden. You've got chains on some doors. You've got, like I said, you got to go through metal detectors. You've got lockers. They can go through your lockers and do a sweep. And that's the same thing. They can at any time go through your cell, lift up your mattress, and go through it and try to see if there's any contraband. Okay. You can't, there's no phones, right? You gotta ask for permission to use the phone. I mean, of course, nowadays people have cell phones, but even when you come there, they don't want to see your cell phone out, and they'll take your cell phone away. You've got that nasty cafeteria food. Okay. Yeah. With bitter people slopping your kids' nasty mashed potatoes onto the plate. You've got a whole bunch of things that symbolize prison, the amount of time that you have to go to school, 180 days. And then you have to spend 1 hour or an hour and 30 minutes in class. And in most situations, you can't leave off campus to go eat. So when we look at it like that, originally, and I know this is going to offend a lot of people, but I really don't care. Originally, the role is that the woman would stay home and train up the child and teach the children. Mm-hmm. That is the original role.
No.
Since feminism and every woman wanting to consider herself, most women trying to consider themselves to be equal when you're not. You are not equal to a man. If you were, it'd be called man. But you're not. You're a woman. So anyway, the role of a woman is to be in the home, making sure and taking care of and keeping order in the house, and to raise the children, to cook, to clean. There's nothing wrong with that. Why? Because that's what God said, and it's written in the word. We're supposed to be at home teaching our children. You can teach your children how to count. You can teach your children how to write. My mama was a teacher. I didn't go to kindergarten. I went straight to first grade. My mama taught me how to read at age 2. 2 years old, I learned how to read. I was potty trained at 1. My mother was there, and she taught me for 7 years. So I know that homeschooling is something that can be done. But if you homeschool your children, now the government wants to threaten you. They want to see, when you signed that birth certificate, you signed your children over to the government. So that's why they can pull and do this and do that to threaten you to enroll your child in school and vaccinate your children. You're going to vaccinate me to avoid something that's really putting something inside of me. So anyway, the roles have been totally disrespected, dishonored, and that's why we have all the chaos we have. You throw your children into school when they should be at home, learning the skills and learning how to become productive in their home so they can learn how to make money from their hands. There's just a way that was never wrong, but people have marched and fought and done all these things to get things that we should have never had, and that's why we're screwed up today.
Okay. You ain't going to school of diving. I see.
You too, J. Rob. We both in this. We snorkeling together. You know what I'm saying? Because you bringing it out, and it's a great topic for the listening audience to be made aware of. Why would you allow other people to raise your children?
Okay.
Why would you give your child away at such a young age to other people to watch? Why?
No. Listen, you talking to me, so I gotta hear you. I'm hearing you.
You know, no, I'm talking. You know, I'm just saying though. But you feel me? Like, why would we do that? You know, and that's just the whole.
Because that's all. I mean, that's not to cut you off.
No,
that's all
good.
that we know.
Yeah.
Like you was through school. I don't know if your parents was, but it's just the system, and like how you said, people marched and fought. Yeah, because education, I don't know how they set it up, but it's I like people. Yeah, they was getting education, and you know we want to get the education too. You know, like them. So,
but we
yeah,
had it. We had it,
like
J. Rob. We had it. We had the education. We have invented most of all the things that run in this world. Extremely intelligent. Our brothers and sisters have created so much, have invented so much. The problem was we have an identity crisis. We always trying to be like somebody else but us.
Okay, yeah. That's the truth right there.
The white people did not want to play with us, and we insisted on it. I know that's deep. You're listening to the Tour on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. They didn't want to play with us. And we insisted on sitting down and eating in their restaurants, drinking from their water fountain, going to their schools. They didn't want to be bothered with it. They didn't want us, and we kept insisting on it. When we were fine where we were, we had no business. We were not shipped to this country to gain equal rights, to do all that. We were shipped to this country as a punishment, as a curse for being disobedient and walking away from the commandments of God. That's why we in the position today, black people, that we are in. That's the truth of the matter. And anybody who says that we not is a lie. We are out of order. We've been out of order. And one of the curses was that we would go into captivity. And we did. And we tried to assimilate when they said, we don't want you to come to our party. We don't want you over here. Did you see the amount of aggression that was expressed from the white people not wanting us to come was out of this world. Dogs, lynching, barbecues, hanging, crosses set in front of the, the amount of, and they're going to have to pay for that abuse, because you aren't supposed to treat us like that. You know, you still hold to a level of accountability of how you treat one another. So nobody was right. The wicked treatment, okay? And the fact that we always trying to assimilate into something that's not for us. You just insisting upon it. And that's why today it's still the same way. Nothing, what came from us marching? The assassination of Dr. King. Okay? A threat to black nationalism. What came about from it? What did we get?
Then they give them a holiday.
In a street, in every hood. There's a Martin Luther King everywhere. Martin Luther King Boulevard, Martin Luther King Drive, Martin Luther King Street. It's everywhere. A Martin Luther King church fan. Okay? It's everywhere. Okay? But a holiday, we killed you, and we had one of your own lead you out to the balcony. Okay? Because Jesse Jackson led him to the balcony that day. Okay? And he was assassinated. That's heavy.
It is. I mean, and now, okay, so maybe that's why a lot of people don't really mess with him like that.
You better know it. You said it. Exactly.
Okay.
Ding. And that's why he was crying when Barack Obama was elected president because he sat up there, and one thing about guilt, God decides when that guilt is removed. A lot of the times when you've done wrong, it can stay with you for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. He talked about keep hope alive. Well, how come you didn't help keep Dr. King alive? Mm-hmm. See, you got to understand, just because you in high places doesn't mean that you aren't acting like a nigga. Okay? It doesn't mean that you aren't acting out of character just because you got some distinguished rankings about yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's real talk. He led that brother out to the balcony. So who was in Jesse Jackson's pockets? What were the promises made to Jesse Jackson as a result of this lure? It's crazy. What did marching get us? Oh, and JFK got shot. It was assassinated. What did it get us? What did sitting at those counters get us? Because you still have Starbucks situations. You still have Waffle House situations. You still have it going on. So what did it stop? What did it do to have Ruby Baker be the first Negro girl to integrate a white school? And she had to have heavy military police protection. What? For what? When we are the smartest, some of the smartest, we could have done everything on our side of town. I don't understand why. And a lot of black people get mad at me for that. But, we fought for the right to vote. Well, why do you have to vote for another master when God is your master? See, people don't want to get into that. I cannot vote for a president and have and be following God at the same time. You can't serve both masters. You'll love one and hate the other. And so I stopped voting. Go ahead.
Okay. But you voted before?
Yeah, I voted. The first thing I did when I was 18, I ran out to vote because I used to be pro civil rights. I used to be pro Dr. King because my parents marched. My parents did all that. So it rubbed off on me. But then I started reading and understanding and becoming independent from their thinking and their ways of doing things to develop my own train of thought, because sometimes people can pass down a thought, can pass down a way of thinking, and that just not be what's good for you. But yeah, I definitely voted. I voted. Last time I voted was 2008. No, the first time Obama ran was the last time I ever voted.
That was my one and only time, too.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first and only time.
Yeah, that was my one and only time. And that's just what it was, But then I started understanding the difference between an election and a selection. Then I started understanding how my vote does not count, how the president is picked beforehand. And so what am I doing here? My ancestors marched for a selection? Hell no. My brothers and sisters marched in vain? You mean to tell me that you already got the president picked? And you're just really just making me go through the rigmarole to think that the Constitution is what it is and this and that and the third. But really, you already know that Barack Obama is going to be the president. You already knew that Donald Trump was going to be the president. You already have them already ready to go. And you're just making me think that I'm doing something and voting for him. But it's not really. No. I'm not going to be fooled. And I cannot be used to serve my community in a way that is not going to be beneficial. So that's why, some people rock with me and some people don't. But I'm solid on my knowledge. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So that's just what it is. But you know what, J. Rob? You have sparked a dialogue today, my brother.
You brought it. I didn't have to answer questions. Right there.
Nah, I'm just saying though, you got it going on. But I do want to get into your single. I played it before you called in, Corner Store. And I'm sure you're going to say something that's going to spark something else. But let's get into Corner Store. And let's get into the intro because I featured both of those on May Music. It got high response, great quality, very different, very diverse. A lot of people have been tuning into May Music. So what's the inspiration behind those two songs?
Okay, well, those are off of my second project, Better With Time, Part 2.
Okay.
And that came out 2015, so, yeah, about 3 years ago. I got that beat from a guy named Sim Chance. You know, he's a producer out here in Rochester, and I got that beat from him. I don't know. I just wanted to come. You know, 'cause my first project, it was pretty decent. You know, but you know, that was just me getting my feet wet. You know, so the second time, I'm like, you know, okay, let me switch it up. You know, let me get some different music. You know, that I know to use, and you know, just try to force my pen.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, the intro, you know, just me, you know, like I said, corner store. I wanted to tell a little story, you know, or you know, just talk about something that people and myself, you know, that we've been through. You know, going to the corner store for Mama, and you know, going through stuff, you know, on the way there, on the way coming back, you know, them trips. You know, for me, you know, back in the day, it was like, okay, I don't know, you know, if the dudes down the street, you know, who were a little bit older than me, you know, they're a little bit bigger. I don't know if they're gonna take my money, or
right.
I don't know if they're gonna, you know, jump me, beat me up, you know. So, you know, it was a risk sometimes. You know, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I was just, you know, I just thought about, you know, my youth, and you know, going to the store, and you know, the beat. Got that beat from a guy. Trying to think where he's from. I forget where he's from, but I got the beat from him, and you know, that was something, you know, all people would like, and you know, eventually ended up liking it.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love the beat. I love the way, you know, I just like your whole style. So what has been some of the responses from your, you know, your fans, your supporters about, you know, your first project and your second project?
Well, my first one, I didn't make a lot of copies of those, you know, but a lot of people, you know, I got some positive feedback from it, you know. You know, with it being my first project, you know, it was like, okay, you know, it's all right. You know, you got a little something, you know. But that was 2013. You know, that was 2013. You know, when I released my first one, and you know, the second one, I'm not gonna lie, that one kind of, you know, increased my little fan base. You know, here, you know, just in Rochester. Yeah. You know, and you know, a lot of family, you know, they supported it. I made 2 videos for those are not singles, actually, you know. I just sent those to you because those are the only two clean versions of that I had. Well, I appreciate it. Let me say I got clean versions. Yes. So, honestly, like, those are the only 2, you know, clean versions I got, you know. Yeah. In my files. Everything else is, you know, is just raw, you know. I got you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know, so let's talk about the music scene, the hip-hop scene over there in Rochester, New York, and just in the surrounding areas. What's the vibe like in 2018 for the hip-hop industry? It's good. Well, it's great. A lot of young talent here in Rochester, you know. A lot of guys are definitely, you know, grinding. You know, a lot of videos. You know, you catch out. Well, you can catch a lot of young talent. You know, videos on YouTube. You know, a lot of artists making moves. You know, I'll say this, and I had to get out of that thinking. You know, of, you know, let's not supporting each other. I'm like, okay, they're only going to support you if they see you making progress, and you know, they see you doing your thing. You know, the ones who are going to help, you know, they're going to help. You know, and the ones who don't, hey, they don't matter. So I want to reach. Well, I have to reach out, you know, to some guys, you know, because there's a lot of talent here, you know, Rochester and Buffalo. You know, Buffalo has a lot of talent. I don't know if you're familiar with Conway, the Westside Gun. They're from Buffalo. Okay. They signed a deal with Shady with Eminem. I had to deal with him about a couple years ago or last year, if I'm mistaken. But yeah, a lot of talent, not just with hip hop either, but with singers, a lot of the R&B singers here, a lot of comedians, so a lot of people doing their thing, just trying,
And shout out though, I wanted to ask you, how do you think going the reality TV way, i.e. just different versions of music reality shows, it helps a brand or hurts a brand?
I feel it helps, because it's exposure, So I feel if the talent is whatever the judges or whoever is looking for, maybe they won't even get discovered. A lot of artists, they made it, but they was cut from American Idol, or they was cut from whatever the new show is with Diddy and all that, and who knows, somebody else could see them and just want to do some business with them, so I feel any exposure, is good exposure. Like this right here, these are one of my first, interviews with you. So definitely, definitely some good exposure,
Definitely. Oh, we gonna take care of you, J-Rob. We got you here at the Sister Speak Show, okay? We got you. That's what it's about. I don't know what anybody else has going on, but one thing I do is I'm not turning my back on my brothers and my sisters. It has been far too long that my brothers and sisters have been overlooked. There are so many phenomenal, absolutely dynamic brothers and sisters all over that are just doing great things, and it has to be highlighted. That's why I'm going through Instagram after Instagram, trying to connect with brothers and sisters all over and saying, hey, and I even have people reaching out to me and saying, I'd like, how can I be a guest on your show? And, so once you start getting those type of direct messages, okay, it's starting to catch, we're expanding our platforms, and every time I expand, that means that all of my special guests expand because, the listening audience is all over, the international listening audiences, they get to go through all the interviews and they listen. And so now somebody over there in Ireland is like, J-Rob is dope. You feel me? So now you've got that international commerce set up. You feel me? And that's all I want to do for my brothers and sisters is you're hungry. I'm hungry.
Right. So go ahead and watch the other.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say you're thirsty and I'm thirsty, but not in that type of way. But we all have to live and we have to survive. And so I'm not gonna sit here and just have my voice be heard and never have a special guest and never do anything to reach out to my brothers and sisters. I won't make it. This show won't last. But as long as I'm consistent, as long as I keep having dope special guests like y'all, you know what I mean? And just being able to just vibe out, man, we're gonna really go far. And I've been able to see a lot of my special guests who have come through the Sister Speak Show. They were already in their brand. They were already doing their thing, but I see them doing more. You know what I'm saying? I see them. I feel like coming through here kind of like put some wind in your sail, put some fire in your fireplace. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're like, man, I'm ready to do this and that. And then I've also gone to see that a lot of brothers and sisters who I have interviewed started to then get recognition in their hometown. Now they've got people in their hometown wanting to interview them, wanting to do a show. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's working. You know what I'm saying? It's working. I don't get mad if I see a special guest be on another platform doing another interview. That's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hater. I'm a factor. That's just it. I state facts. I just don't hate. So, I'm glad that I was able to, vibe out with you. So let's talk about what is next for J-Rob and how all your social media platforms.
Okay. Okay, well, what I have next, I have a small performance in New York City on the 23rd, June 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in New York City, for a performance in Manhattan.
Yes.
And I'm just working on, new material. Well, I'm working on my fourth project.
That's what's up.
It's untitled right now, but I'm just taking a day at a time. And for supporters or followers, fans, y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CherisLife88.
Mm-hmm.
At CherisLife, CHERISH Life 88 on Twitter and IG. On SoundCloud, I'm J-ROB88, JRob88 on SoundCloud. YouTube, James Robinson. That's my government. So yeah, I'm working.
Yes. And, another thing I wanted to ask you before we get ready to transition, because I'm going to play the intro when we get off. What do you think about the rap beef? Because, we see this whole birth of clout chasers, and you also see, rap beef, like the most recent rap beef. You have Pusha T and Drake, and rap beef has been going on for a long time. The most infamous rap beef that I grew up in was the Tupac Biggie, rap beef and everything like that. What's just anything? What's your perspective on rap beef as a whole?
Okay. Well, I can only speak on, my opinion. I feel with hip hop battling, that was around, since the beginning, of hip hop. So I feel if you're gonna keep it on wax and just be competitive, I really don't see a problem, But I mean, I know a lot of people, they were rubbed the wrong way with some lyrics and bringing personal stuff into it, whether it be family members or somebody's personal business or whatever. Like, I mean, hey, that's I don't know, that's not for me to go in, but I feel wax, battling, I don't feel nothing wrong with it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Now, because, you don't think they go too far?
Like boxing.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Just like, you just practicing, and going at somebody, they going at you, just hip hop, I feel.
No, and I appreciate that. Do you ever think that the rap beef does go too far? When is enough? Because children get involved. People may be bringing in a wife. Or just attacking something in an illness. Do you think that it goes too far? Or it's just like all bars are, no bars are off limits.
Okay, with me, I feel if that person, if somebody crosses the line, I feel the other person, hey, they have, because like I said, it's battling, and as long as they're keeping it on wax, as long as they're keeping it, strictly hip hop, and I feel, maybe Pusha T, maybe he did cross the line, but it's hip hop, and Drake said something first about about his wife or whatever. So I feel Drake opened that door, and then once he opened that door, that's what Pusha T he came with.
He let loose.
He came with So at that point, you gotta respect it. You got to.
Yeah, it's real serious, and some people do. They do take it to the streets and things like that. I was going to ask you, just thinking about Tupac, and I know where I was when I found out that he passed away. I was walking through Hilltop Mall, and I will never forget the silence that fell over what it seemed like the Bay Area that day. It was a lot of. It was like, I don't know, it was just really, really crazy how quiet it was. Do you think...
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you think that if Tupac would have been in different company, that it's a possibility that he could still be alive today?
You mean if he wasn't with Suge?
In just a different company, because Suge was not Suge was a part of the company, but just in just his whole interactions and things like that. Do you?
Death Row?
Death Row. Do you even think it was wise that he even signed to Death Row when he was in prison or in jail?
I mean, I feel that was the best opportunity for him at the time. I mean, I don't know. I was a baby at that time.
True.
I don't know all the details, but from what I do know, he bailed him out, and he signed a deal, and that's when he got All Eyes on Me.
True.
It was some good music. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
That's all I really care about, honestly. I'm the type of person, I love, artists, and, if they mean well, and Pac, he stood for something that was, bigger than hip-hop, so I'm always, have that genuine love and that respect, for him, and it was just, at that time, they were young, Pac and Big, they was 23, 24, so they were still figuring it out, and them, being that age and having the spotlight all on them, it's crazy, and I think about, and I don't know, I'm glad I'm a little older, and I can learn, from, some mistakes of, those in the past, but, I feel Pac, he meant well.
Right.
I really felt, that he meant well, because he was one of the realest. So, it's unfortunate. And, like with that beef, because he was talking about Biggie, wife and all that. And Biggie, it's crazy how, Pac got shot, the first time. And then Biggie made Who Shot You, so that's gonna cause some questions, like, okay,
right,
and then it's like, I came back, and that's when it was just okay. Snoop involved, and it just became, East Coast versus West Coast, literally,
right.
Like I was a baby, and I was just watching it on TV, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, okay, I know Pac, represent West Coast, and he with Dre and Snoop, and Suge, so it's like, all right, and Biggie on the East Coast, so I was just, I never East Coast all my life, but I was like, okay, I'm a Pac fan too. Like I was a fan of Pac and Big.
Me too. That's what I was saying. I never subscribed to just West Coast. I listened to Pac, I listened to Biggie. I always say this. I got to meet Biggie Smalls. That was really big for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I was able to get his autograph, and it's just, it was amazing. I couldn't believe, when you see somebody on TV and then you see them, in actuality, it can blow your mind sometimes, especially when you're young, you know what I'm saying, and impressionable, and you're like, wow, this man I was literally just watching through my TV is, sitting here right here. And then, you get to know how dope Biggie Smalls was. And then I started learning about how he started rhyming, how he was really dominating the street corners, you know what I'm saying? How he had bars for days. His wordplay was really dope. And so, I'm just, raised by a single mother, just a whole woo-wop about how he got. And I was like, okay, I respect it. And, he's put out some cool songs. And, I listen to Pac, and I feel like the first time I'll never forget the first time I ever heard Brenda's Got a Baby and saw the video, because back in the day in Cali, we had something called the California Music Channel. And so, and we also had something called The Box, and you could dial in the number to the video on your landline, and it would play the video. So, when I first heard Brenda's Got a Baby, I was just like, okay, the way he constructed this song, because I believe like a great lyricist is one who can tell a story. If you are a good storyteller, you probably got some bars of fire, and I'm willing to listen to your EP or, just your album from beginning to end, because I can trust that you're going to take me. Take me through this lyrical journey. And that's what it's about for me. And so if you're a storyteller, you're probably a really dope MC, probably a great lyricist, because you're painting a picture. I like to be able to, and the one thing I also appreciated about Brenda's Got a Baby is that the video matched the song. You know what I'm saying? I hate it.
Definitely.
I hate it when I'm getting ready, I'm listening to this song and I'm like, okay, this, the video's got to be fire. And then you watch the video and it's one of them little 99-cent lighters from the store. You know what I mean? It's just like, you try to flick it to get a flame and the whole thing breaks apart. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what's up? So I feel like a dope artist is somebody who's able to be consistent all the way through. You know what I'm saying? With your rhymes, with your video, with your evolving, so what, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, with your brand and with your music?
Okay, 5 years, with my brand, Cherish Life, I definitely just see, I don't want to say, I try to stay humble, but I definitely see, great things in store.
Yes.
5 years, hopefully I'll be on my, I don't know, I say second album maybe, or first album, I don't know, but I'm just working every day, and just taking it really day by day. But definitely, shows. Yeah, I definitely see, shows, in the future.
Yes. And one thing I always say to my brothers and sisters, or one thing I've started to say, is practice your speech.
Yeah,
Always, get your acceptance speech ready. I practice my acceptance speech. I don't know what award I thought I plan on getting when I get older, but I don't know. One thing I do say is just make sure you have that speech ready, and definitely remain humble. But there's nothing wrong with speaking into an existence. So if you see great things, my brother, then great things shall appear. There's nothing wrong with speaking at an altitude that is above where you are. And there's nothing wrong with wanting greatness. This is the time that I'm going to take out to encourage you. My brother, there's nothing wrong with it. And you are definitely on the right track. You're very articulate and you're obviously wise. And when I listen to your music, I don't hear what everybody else has going on. And I hear originality. And when you are original, you've got both my ears up and probably millions of other listeners, because we're tired of the same old. So the fact that you create, of course, no problem. No, the fact that you create content that, I'm listening to what you say. Some people listen to a rap for the lyrics. Some people listen to it for the beat. Some people listen to it for both. I listen to it for both. And, when your lyrics and the production go together. So that's that consistency and that continuity that makes people want to hear what you produce. It makes me not want to say I only like number 1, 4, and 7 on the album, and the rest of it is whatever. You know, I'm listening to 1, I'm listening to 2, I'm listening to 3. You know, I'm not skipping, I'm not doing nothing. I'm actually listening because I know when I'm listening to you, you're talking to me. You know, you're telling me something. You're sharing, no matter, you know, whether it's clean or raw. You know, sometimes you got to keep it 100. I mean, not sometimes, you got to keep it 100. You feel me? So if you feel like saying X, Y, and Z, that's just what it is. But your music is definitely what I consider to be a part of the culture of hip hop, and especially the culture of New York. It's something about New York artists that is absolutely dope. Y'all got this swag, this confidence. You know, when y'all get on the mic, it's a different vibe. And the one thing I do notice about New York is like people come out to support. You know what I'm saying? People show up to the events and they support. And even though the venues may not be as large just as far as the actual capacity that it can hold, but it's filled from front to back. You know what I mean? You know, people are in there, they're rocking, they know your words, they know your music, you know, they're showing up, and it's just like, that's a great vibe. And I think that the New York vibe and the vibe that you are adding to the vibe is commendable, and it's what the music industry needs. And I'm so grateful that it's not mumble rap. You understand what I'm saying to you? That it's that it's rap that is clear, it's real, it's raw, but it's consistent and it's electric. And I can see why this is your passion and your purpose. And I'm grateful that you were created.
Thankful. I'm thankful that you were created. Same. Yeah, it's mutual. It's all love. That's love.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Of course. And I want you to continue to press. I want you to continue to grind. You know, continue to enhance your vocabulary. Continue to write. Don't ever stop sparring, you know, behind the mic. You know, please continue to do what you do. Make sure your circle is tight. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're encouraging the other people in your circle to get up, get out, and get something, so there won't be pressure on you to come back and feed the whole village. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because a lot of times people will depend on your gift to feed them. And yes, it can, but we want our brothers and sisters to use the talents that God gave them, because we all have been given them. And there'll be less hating if there was more activating in our purpose and our passion. You can't get mad at me for doing my thing if you also doing your thing too. So that's what we want to encourage, so there won't be so much pressure on our brothers and sisters to sign these contracts and enter into these 360 deals where they end up losing money and end up really being the last person to get paid when it comes to the industry and a label. So I just really want to make sure that we are, and I'm speaking to the supporters now, the supporters of J-Rob. You know, continue to do your thing. Continue to activate your talents and your passions and your purpose, and supporting him. So there won't be too much. So there won't be an unbalanced pressure on him to perform and to get it, because he's constantly thinking about your struggle. Get your shit together to everybody now. Everybody, get your shit together so it can really, really manifest into something to where our brothers and sisters don't enter into situations of darkness because they're trying to feed you. Okay? God ain't slighted us. We all have talents. All of us. All of us. But we also have the spirit of laziness. And laziness can have you 20 years later looking up and you can't run like you used to. Can't move like you used to. You don't even have the breath like you used to get behind the microphone. Okay? Time can pass you by. So please, while supporting my brother J-Rob, you make sure.
Talk about it. Yeah, you definitely talk about it. Look,
now supporting my brother J-Rob, I need you to go and can they buy your music anywhere? Is it on iTunes, Spotify, any?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm working on that right now as we speak.
Good.
But
good.
It's
in the works.
On SoundCloud.
Okay, okay.
J/ROBAA, and it's on YouTube.
Okay. Now, as far as purchasing your music, is any music available for purchase or?
No.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to build my fan base. So
Yes.
I'm just I'm just spitting out, free music.
Good.
I don't really care about the money right now. I'm just trying to get my name out here. So I'm working.
Okay,
Working,
I feel you. And I appreciate that answer. And I need you to get on iTunes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to make sure you make that happen. And so you can put your music out there because it's time. It is time to get the dime. Hello. It is. It was corny. It was kind of corny.
No, I'm with you.
But you know what I'm saying? It's time to get the dime. And so I'm saying that because, brothers and sisters, as soon as he launches and puts his music on iTunes, I need you to buy. Okay? I need you to support. So what if it's free right now? Look. I need you to support. Just like you go to the Dollar Tree and buy your little 99-cent items. You don't know none of them people that make any of those items in that Dollar Tree. You don't know anybody at all. But you sit there and you buy those products, okay? And so therefore, if you can willingly, willfully, and unselfishly go to the Dollar Tree and spend 99 cents and however much, or even $5 below, or even to the Dollar General, look to the Family Dollar store, wherever you go, you're spending 99 cents to $5. And you can also do that when you go to iTunes to support this brother. You also take your little happy self and hungry self to the 99-cent menu. Oh, you'll get 4 for $4. So how come you can't get 4 of his singles? You get 4 singles at Wendy's. Okay, so you go to Burger King, you buy them dollar cheeseburgers and those $1.19 value fries. So why can't you spend that on your brother? You don't know who's making your burgers. You don't even know Burger King. Do you know Burger King? You don't even know him. All you know that he is a monster with a face that don't move, that scares little children daily when that commercial comes on TV. So you go to McDonald's, value fries. Why don't you value the music that your brothers and sisters are out here grinding and putting out so they can eat? Why are we always supporting people that don't know us? Why are we always there to support and spend $200 to $300 to $500 to see Beyonce? Beyonce doesn't know you. She doesn't.
That's a whole other conversation right there.
Yeah, but it's the truth though. She does not know you, but you are furnishing every ounce of her life. Okay? You don't even know her. But we are always quick to run to the beehive. And you don't end up getting any honey. Shit. I said that. Woo, that was real right there.
Yeah. Somebody in the other room too. They ain't listening, but they mess with that beehive too.
Yeah. You guys are always running with what is out there before your very eyes. But I'm gonna say this, and without going too deep, I'm gonna say, because we're already at probably maybe about 30 feet deep.
Right.
Without going down 48 more meters, not going 48 meters down. I'm gonna say this. Do your research on these artists. Take the time to find out just how they live. Take the time to find out who they worship. Take the time to find out how they get what they get and how they've gotten what they've gotten in the elitism of their profession and the events that they attend. Some of y'all are worshiping demons. Some of y'all are worshiping people that don't care about you. Some of y'all are worshiping people that are intent and are paid to produce music to destroy our brothers and sisters. And we flock to these people. You know, Hansel and Gretel were trying to get away from the witch. Dorothy was trying to get away from the wicked witch. Some of y'all is running right to the witch. You want to get in the cauldron and you want to be burned and boiled. Some of y'all run right to the danger. Oh, is that danger over there? Let me put on my Nikes. You know what I mean? You can't wait. And then you find out later on that, wow, I shouldn't have drank the Kool-Aid. Wow, I shouldn't have been a fan.
But it looked good. The Kool-Aid definitely looked good. It looked good. That's why.
Yeah. But we can't be fooled. So many of us are deceived that it's ridiculous. So I just wanted to say, just in conclusion to everybody, please support this brother and other artists. You have no excuse, and I'm holding you to this. Please. You know, I'm not begging. I'm not soliciting. I'm commanding and demanding you to do better. Because one day, you're going to want to put your album out. One day, you're going to want to open up your beauty bar. One day. And you are going to look around and wonder why ain't nobody fooling with you. It's because you wasn't fooling with anybody. Woo! J. Rob, we're going to have to talk again. I'm going to need you to come back on the show.
Definitely. Anytime. I definitely appreciate you. Appreciate the opportunity. Y'all stay tuned in. Support your sister. Sister Speak show. And, just blessings,
Yeah, I appreciate you. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did. I didn't expect for it to go, that deep, that early, but I'm like, okay, yeah, it was needed,
Yes.
So, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, see,
a good dialogue.
Thank you. Well, see, the one thing I want to do differently than any other interviewer is, look, I want to be able to extract the elements from you. Yeah, we could talk about writing rhymes all day, but there's more to you than just that. We're going to highlight that, but, you're a thinking man. You know what I mean? And you've been through some things in your journey, and people need to hear why they're going to support you, and I believe that they know why. That's all. It's about having the listening audience get to know the artist and why they must support. Now they know you. You feel me? They've listened to you. They know you're not just some old fly-by-night, entertainer. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying to you? So this whole conversation was to extract the elements and to show who you are in conjunction with being a lyricist, MC, a recording artist, and a brother and a son and a, and a king. It's just who you are.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to ask you any personal questions because that's not my business.
No. You're all right. Any question you feel, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just some things aren't my business, you know what I mean? And I like to respect my guests.
I'm an open book.
Okay, well then next time get ready. Next time get ready, because then we'll go there. But it's just about making, this is the first time we've spoken, and I wanted you to be, feel comfortable and feel respected, and I hope I achieved that today.
Definitely you did.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you. Appreciate the questions.
Okay.
Great questions.
Good. Now, it's the favorite time before we close where you get to send a shout out to anybody that you would like to.
Okay. I want to shout out the whole Rochester, New York, 585. I want to shout out all our peoples, my Liz. I want to shout out, well, she knows who she is, but I want to shout out, everybody who listening. Yeah, everybody who tuned in for this what?
Yes. Oh, shout out to you all.
Hour and 45-minute, convo.
Yes. And that's just, look, it's good conversation. I will end the interview quickly if I have to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you. It was worth it. I don't feel like any minute was wasted, and I will send you a copy of this interview, and I can't wait to hear more from you. You're gonna have to let me know when you're on iTunes, so then I can get on here and let everybody know. Okay, special guest that we had, recording artist J. Rob, he's on iTunes. I can give them information so they can go and support. So I'll be looking out for that information so that I can pass that on to the listeners.
Cool. cool.
Okay. All right. So, look, when I come to I appreciate you too. When I come to New York now, because that is on my list, I plan on coming to New York. I'm going to be traveling up through North Carolina, and we're going to be going all the way up to New York. And I just want to be able, I'm going to be stopping by Harlem. I'm going to be stopping by Manhattan, Rochester. So, be ready, because I'm going to have to come and link up with you.
Definitely.
Okay, now don't be running from me, J. Rob, talking about that's her right there.
Listen, I'm not. I'm not gonna bullshit you, or not gonna, mean what I say what I mean.
Yes. And you'll know it's me.
Definitely.
So anyway, I'll definitely keep
energy. I'm gonna know about that good energy. I'm gonna just feel that good energy. I'm like, all right, where's she at?
Yeah, here I go. I heard y'all was looking for me. Here I go. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, many blessings to you, my brother. You be encouraged. I thank you for this interview. I'll send you a copy in your direct message, and we will definitely, this isn't goodbye. This is just simply, I will talk with you later, okay?
Till next time.
Yes.
All right, peace and love.
Yes, peace and love. Brothers and sisters, let's give a round of applause for the ever so distinguished King, J. Rob. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much. You have been listening live to the tour on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Ayana. My special guest was, in fact, recording artist J. Rob. Shout out to everybody who was listening. And I just really appreciate your patience and your time and your support. I thank you for allowing this conversation to go deep. Whenever you listen to the Sister Speak Show, always bring your scuba gear. I forgot to tell you we was going deep sea diving today. No, we're always going deep sea diving. And I don't make any apologies for anything that I said, because I mean it. Straight up. I mean everything that I said, because it's the truth. And I have a mission and I have an assignment. So I'm not going to hold back just to please your ear if what I have to say is what I have to say. Now, because you are a mature audience, a wise audience, a young audience, as well as an older audience, whatever the demographic is, I appreciate you and I thank you for your ability to dive with us today, darling. So anyway, this is what we're going to do as we close out. I'm going to play the intro. We're going to close out by J. Rob. But I just wanted to ask this question. Why is it that there's mumble rap, but there's not mumble country music? Mumble opera? Mumble R&B? Well, you got Anita Baker. I should have said that, but sometimes I don't even know what the hell she be saying. But seriously, why is it only that particular genre of music? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, brothers and sisters, so this is what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to close out the tour where we cover every aspect of the music industry. I'm so excited about everything that we're getting ready to do. Also, brothers and sisters, here we go. This is J. Rob, the intro. This will be our background music as we fade on out. Okay, so brothers and sisters, understand this, that tomorrow evening I need you to tune in and listen live, because at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the platform, my special guest will be published author Sister Queen, lead journalist for I Push Magazine. She was already a special guest on the Sister Speak Show. She's going to be another one again. Ayana Turner. And when I tell you that when she and I get on the phone and we vibe out, the lessons that are taught, the wisdom that is imparted, and the rebuke and the correction and just the laughs and just the great vibe. She is really, that's my sister. And we connected immediately, both named Ayana, so you already know what that is. And we just are from the same time frame and era. And this sister is really dynamic. And so I really want you to tune in, listen live to the platform as we discuss her second book that's getting ready to come out, as well as, piggybacking on her first book. Please listen live, because baby, we don't hold back, honey. Not at all. We keep it 100. 100. And who else do we have coming up? Oh, goodness. We have, I've got Natalia coming up. I have Dominique Clark on the tour. Natalia's going to be on the tour. I have, goodness, I have a few others that are coming on. I'm sorry it slipped my mind. Y'all got a lot going on. But definitely, we have definitely a jam-packed month. And not only that, with shows as well. So listen, brothers and sisters, we're going to be re-recording the last episode of Made Music because a lot of songs that were supposed to be on the playlist did not get played, and we just got to correct that. So that's coming soon. But definitely listen to the platform, Coming to the Stage. You can listen to the Culture... there it is. We have Nicholas Monroe with the Culture Climate. We have Shantae Raquel. Thank you, Lord, for helping me remember this. Shantae Raquel, she is a published fashion designer out of New York. I'm so excited about that. Nicholas Monroe on the Culture Climate. We're going to have a really, really deep discussion. It is rated R, for mature audiences only. If you've seen the movie Adulterers, we're going to be discussing that on the Culture Climate. If you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. And be ready for some heavy conversation. I appreciate you, kings. I appreciate you, queens. Warriors. And, with that being said, some of y'all mad about that sweep. Brooms are for something, ain't they? What are they for? Sweeping. So I guess last night it was the Brooms versus the Cavaliers. Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings, brothers and sisters. Get out your feelings. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Sister Speak Show. Spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Spiritual inspiration shared through Inyana. Until we meet next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Get up, get out, and get something. I'll talk with you later, okay? Take care now. I'll talk to you later. Take care.